Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with a tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Shit, get your money, not your hater. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up. I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you. I'm a coach now. Commentating, do the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Made little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
What's up, good Vipo? Let me know that you can hear me. I'm trying to find trying to find all my buttons. Let me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing either highlights or we got this. Highlights or we got this. If you can hear me, I definitely need to do a sound check because we haven't been live in a minute, and I don't know if my setup is all set up. I'm thinking that this might be the first time I'm going live with my new configuration that you guys can't see. The Patreon executive Veeple, they've seen the new setup, and I kind of walked them through what I've done with my monitors, etc., my whole little desktop studio situation here. And so I'm trying it out, watching my eye wander all around. I'm wondering if this is working, but I'll know by the end of the evening. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's letting me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing either highlight or we got this. Let's see. We got Marianne, we got Valerie, we got Nicole, we got Minister Annette. Why am I straining to read when I got my glasses in my hand? We got Shane, Yes, I Am Unique, Felicia, Sugar, Z Brace, and RN Smith, and Miss MAJ, and Courtney, and Renee, and Jessica, and Marlena, and D Jackson, and S Swan, and everyone else who's letting me know that you can hear me in the chat. I greatly appreciate that. Also, the reason I said to put highlights in the chat is because the video I put out two of them in the past couple days. The highlight videos that I've been putting out of the live streams seems to be confusing some of our people. And I said that I've been responding to as many messages as I can. But I'm like, I need to address this. I need to address this because people are confused. I'm getting messages. Vell, your video cut off. Vell, it cut off when you were about to talk about Miss Robbie. Yeah, it was supposed to. It's a highlight video. It's a clip of the 2 to 3 hour long video. And the reason that I do that is because everyone does not get to have the joy and pleasure of spending 2 to 3 hours with us when I go live full of shenanigans. Everybody don't have that kind of time. And so I'm clipping down the segments that we do, the various topics that we do, into small little, it depends. I mean, some of them are as short as 8 minutes. Some of them might be 20 minutes, but it's just specifically whatever particular segment that we were talking about that I feel like is highlight worthy. And so I put out a couple of them. That's what I've been saying. I need more time to be able between live streams to do those sort of things. And I've had some time. And so that's what they are all about. But I'm like, maybe I need to rename them because literally in the beginning of the video, it goes live stream highlight. and then it just goes into me talking. It's no intro. I had some people thought it was live and they like, you're not talking back to me. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. If you feel like I was even asking the executive people, maybe I should rename them reruns, but I don't like the sound of that. And highlights, doing highlight videos is nothing new. Other people do it on YouTube. But y'all let me know. Hopefully that has clarified it for some people. But again, everyone doesn't see every video. So there's some people who not even gonna see this and then I'm gonna still get the messages. It just kind of is what it is. But I'm gonna put a disclaimer in the future ones. I have a little small thing at the bottom saying this is, click link below for full video. This is just a clip or whatever. But anyway, thank you all for watching those highlight videos, whether you thought, they were something was wrong with them or not. 62% of you say that you're not confused by the highlight videos. 39% of you are, near 40% of you say that you have been. That's about the amount of how the messages have been feeling. So I was like, I got to address this. This ain't 2 or 3 people. So, but hopefully we're getting on one accord. I know it'll take a while because they will be coming out more frequently, very much so more frequently. It's all about part of the growth strategy. However, what I did notice, because I did put out 2 of them in the past couple of days, and they happened to both be from the Sweetie Pies. Because I was like, out of everything that I had available, I was like, they love some Sweetie Pie stuff. Let me just clip these down real quick. And I got another one coming out. And sure enough, people's like, Sweetie Pies, what's happening? Y'all love some Sweetie Pie stuff. Y'all love some Sweetie Pie stuff. And it just confirmed it for me, because those clips of a 2 to 3 hour long live stream have more views than the actual live stream. And so it's very clear that you guys love your Sweetie Pies content from Vell B. And I love talking about it because I'm a geek when it comes to that stuff. So I was wondering, I'm like, maybe we need to get a Veepo a little bit more of this. And so I was wondering, do you want me to do some kind of Sweetie Pie show review of the series? Well, basically us do a series of the a review of it. I had the investigative series that I was doing. They were pre-recorded videos well over 2 years ago now, where I was going episode by episode and just kind of recapping them and looking at some of the pieces that we didn't notice that maybe tied into Tim's behavior, what we eventually saw with the case, et cetera, et cetera. And so we can do that in real time. I have a lot of the episodes. I don't have all of them, unfortunately, because I didn't grab them when I could have, when they were all available, or the majority, like 90% of them were available. But I have quite a bit of them. So we can do that if you guys are interested, or some iteration of it. I'll kind of think that through and see what works. But we got 70%. So that is the majority are interested, and the views confirm that. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out exactly the best way to approach it. It will be a live stream because these are just so much easier. And then we can engage in all that good stuff and do polls and all that good stuff. So moving into what we have going on tonight, there's quite a bit to catch up on. There's so much more that I just couldn't even add into this live stream. But what we have tonight, of course, is our missing persons alert segment. We have some rest in peace announcements, some death announcements. I hope I'm feeling like church all of a sudden. But some death announcements. We have quite a few there are 4 of them. 4. And I feel like that was I think that was it, because I added the fourth one in. Then we have an update on the young couple who had the unfortunate situation of their baby being decapitated during the birth. The doctor pulling too hard on the baby's shoulders were stuck and decapitated the baby, and then they tried to hide it. So we got a little update on that story coming from the funeral home itself that alerted the parents that there was an issue. Then we have the unfortunate story of an 18-year-old mother of a 2-year-old who was pow-powed while working at Home Depot. So we'll dig into that story. And then I was going to come to y'all with that story yesterday, and then like new developments happened like within hours of that. So we'll talk about that. Then Chicago, we have an update of a situation at a funeral home. That's why I had said in the beginning that, we'll get through this. We can do this we got this rather, because there's just a lot of chaos happening around us. Things I'm reporting on tonight, and things that some of you know that I don't know, and things none of us know that are happening. Then we have the story of the 12-year-old who was arrested while emptying the garbage out of his house that his father asked him to take out. And we'll talk about that. Then a little viral thing from the Real Housewives of Atlanta with the whole Martell and Sheree's birthday kind of situation, and the argument that has ensued over whether or not he should have paid the dinner bill for everyone who was in attendance, because it was his girlfriend's birthday dinner. I just added something to lighten the mood from all these heavy stories because I think it's BS. And then lastly, we have just another viral video in relation to what they are now doing with infants, with these little babies. And so I'm going to see, is this just a sign of the times, or am I the one out of the loop? But we'll talk about that when we get towards the end. Okay, so moving on to our missing persons segment, we have the, oh unfortunate story of, I'm out of practice. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm forgetting what to do. We have, this is one of our VPO community members. This is her friend's son, adult son, and his name is Corey. I think it's Daniel Lee, or Dan Lee, or Daniel Lee. I don't know, or Daniel. He also goes by Corey Holston, and then Crumb Dread. So like instead of cornbread, Crumb Dread. And he is age 33. He is 5'9". He weighs between 180 and 190 pounds. He has dreads. He has a tattoo on his shoulder, which is a lion. And he has more tattoos on his back. They're saying that if anyone has seen or heard from Corey, contact his parents or the California authorities. He was last seen by a guy named Zach outside of Kerman's, California, walking away from almond fields. No one has seen or heard from him since. Corey is from the Bay, Santa Rosa area. And it says Corey does not have his cell phone or his belongings. The guy named Zach does. Corey was last seen wearing red sweatpants and sneakers with no shirt. That's very, very interesting and odd. Corey did not show for his performance, which was, well, they just said yesterday. I don't know, in relation to the date that this was created. And it says his bandmates have not heard from him. If anyone has seen someone fitting his description, please reach out to his family and friends and the authorities. I just realized, hold on, I got another, this does not have any name or address. I just copied this from, hold on. This is what happens when I have a lot of pieces to pull in. Give me a second, because there's nothing on this flyer with contact information. And I got another, I'm going to have to go to my community. VIP. We're having tech issues. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go to the original message and give y'all the contact information. Somebody please type this out for me. Let me see. Who did it come from, though? Now I remember. Luckily, they sent an update this afternoon. Okay, here we go. If you have seen Corey, please contact the Fresno County Sheriff's Office at area code 559-600-3111. Again, area code 559-600-3111. And yeah, let's pray that Corey is found safe and sound. And oh, I have to update a flyer right underneath it. Okay, here we go. So our next person is Richard Brownlee, and Richard Brownlee IV, missing since July 13th of 2023. He is 33 years old, from Cairo, Illinois. Medium complexion. He is 6 feet 3 inches, approximately 240 pounds. He has a shaved head and brown eyes. He was last seen in the 155th block of Cherry Street in Cairo, Illinois. And he left his home on July 13th. He was driving his 2010 Chevy Vell Black, and they give the license plates. It's DE 33808. And his last known location was Little Rock, Arkansas, per the Little Rock Police Department. Richard could be experiencing some mental health issues. So if you have any information on Richard, please contact the Alexander County Sheriff's Department at area code 618-734-2141. Again, area code 618-734-2141. And next we have a young lady, Natalie Janie, and she's been missing since July the 30th of 2023. She is 16 years old, missing from Tacoma, Washington. She is biracial, light complexion. She's approximately 4 feet 11 inches, 125 pounds, black hair. It's a short length, hazel eye color. Says circumstances of disappearance is unknown. So they don't have any details regarding her, just that she's missing from Tacoma, Washington. If you have any information on her, you can contact the Tacoma Police Department at area code 253-287-4455. Again, area code 253-287-4455. Then we have two more. Yeah, two more. This one is more of a cold case that I ran across that I wanted to highlight. This woman here is Felicia Cochran. She's been missing since June 11th of 1992. She would now be 58 years old. She was missing from Pell City, Alabama. She is African-American, medium complexion. She was 5 feet 3 inches, 135 pounds. Her hair length was medium, brown eyes. She left her mother's home at approximately 6 p.m., driving a gray 1987 Nissan Sentra. Circumstances of her disappearance are her vehicle was discovered abandoned and burned on an isolated road in Talladega County, Alabama. Less than 12 hours later, Cochran was estranged. Her car was found less than 12 hours later. And it says Cochran was estranged from her husband at the time of her disappearance. She has 3 children. Her case remains unsolved. All this, well, y'all know what we thinking the same thing. They got to have evidence, though. They got to have unfortunately, they have to have a body in order to, take it to the next steps. But we know. So if you have any information on this situation, you can contact the Pell City Police Department at area code 205-884-3334. Again, area code 205-884-3334. And lastly, but certainly not least, I was reading the remainder of what I had on that case. We have a missing baby. We have Michael Edwards. He's this is out of Washington, D.C. They're seeking the public's assistance in locating 3-year-old Michael Edwards, who was last seen in the 5200 block of Finch Street Southeast on Thursday, August the 10th, 2023. He is described as a black male with light complexion, about 3 feet tall, 40 pounds, with light brown hair, cornrows, and brown eyes. Clothing that he had on was tan shorts, black shirt, and navy blue shirt. Black shirt, navy blue shirts. That's how they have it written, y'all. I'm thinking maybe it was a combination of both, or maybe he had on 2 t-shirts. Maybe one was black and one was navy blue. If you have any information, please contact the. Let me put a larger picture too for y'all. If you have any information, you can do anonymous tips. You can call area code 202-727-9099. Again, area code 202 727-9099, or you can text 50411. So you can text to 50411 any information you may have. Yeah, and they don't put any specifics like would he be with anyone? None of that information is here. That's all I have for you, unfortunately. So that takes us to our next, into our stories of today, the topics. We have the passing of Clarence Avant. And I'm wondering how many of you actually know who Clarence Avant is. And so they say the world has lost a legendary figure in the entertainment industry. Clarence Avant is a groundbreaking musical executive, film producer, and influential figure. What I'm trying to, okay. He passed away at the age of 92, and he is often referred to as the Black Godfather. He left an incredible mark on the music industry, politics, and sports, shaping the landscapes for generations to come. And as we can see, he's been around a long time, smoozing with many of the celebrities, past and present, and helping to make their careers too. They said his early career achievements, his journey began in 1960s when he started managing emerging blues artists, quickly establishing himself as a dynamic force. He orchestrated historical deals, including the sale of Stax Records. Following the triumphant of Motown Records, Avant moved to Los Angeles in the 1970s and led to the founding of his own record labels, Sussex Records and Taboo Records, which played a crucial role in the emergence of hip hop. Avant's influence extended to a vast array of artists, including Quincy Jones, Whitney Houston, Pharrell Williams, Lionel Richie, and more. He played an instrumental role in Michael Jackson's iconic Bad Tour and secured significant milestones for Black artists, such as the ABC Variety Special for Muhammad Ali's and the groundbreaking endorsement deal for baseball legend Hank Aaron. And they said beyond his musical endeavors, Avant ventured into politics, becoming a prominent Democrat and holding sway over President Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Jimmy Carter. His far-reaching impact was recognized when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021. His influence and legacy are poignantly depicted in the Netflix documentary, The Black Godfather, from, 2019. I see 54% of you are familiar with him. I'm wondering, this reminded me, this story and hearing of his passing reminded me that I think I never watched the documentary. I meant to, it was on my list, but like many of us, we have these things on our watch list and then we forget all about them because it's so much vying for our attention. But I'm interested how many of you have actually seen it. And if you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And his personal loss and resilience. He had a tragic loss of his wife, Jacqueline Avant, who was fatally shot during a home invasion. Despite this heartbreak, Avant's daughter, Nicole Avant, found strength in her grief and authored a book called Think You'll Be Happy, Moving Through Grief with Grit, Grace, and Gratitude. Nicole's poignant reflection on her mother's passing and her resilience in the face of adversity are a testament to Avant's family's unwavering spirit. So, I remember hearing about, like, again, I knew about the documentary, never got around to watching it, etc. And then I remember hearing about his wife, that whole tragic situation with a home invasion, and they murdered his. Oh, I'm not supposed to use that word. I keep forgetting I'm on YouTube. That's what happens when I'm away too long. But his wife's life being tragically taken over a home invasion was horrible, and she was in her late 80s or whatever, or in her 80s, for them to take her life over stuff. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, thoughts and prayers to all involved. 69% of you have not watched the documentary. I'm sure I saw the documentary, the Netflix documentary. It was great. It's definitely a must see. Okay, Tracy, thank you for that. I'm definitely honestly, if y'all all said it sucked, I still was gonna watch it, because I like biographies, but I love things that are like based on history and all of that. So the next great loss that we've experienced in the entertainment world is rapper Magoo. No, why does this? There we go. Rapper Magoo. How many of you are familiar with the rapper Magoo? I think you got to be from a certain time, age, like you lived through the 90s basically, and that probably would have had to be your heyday in a way, because he's connected to Timberland and all that. But anyway, his name is Melvin, or his birth name was Melvin Barcliff. He rapped under the name Magoo. He was a teenager in Virginia when he joined the hip hop scene that still influences music today. The rapper Magoo was a foundational member and groundbreaking hip hop member that emerged in Virginia in the 1990s. And that included his collaborators, Timberland, Missy, and Pharrell Williams. He died at the age of 50. And he died the past weekend in Williamsburg, Virginia. According to his wife and a statement from his family, Barcliff said that he had no known health problems other than asthma, but that he had not been feeling well in the past week. And the coroner's office was still investigating the cause of his passing. His wife told them. And we'll. I mean, I think this also. Yeah, I loved his style of rapping, and it was smooth and felt so unique back then. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, a cautionary tale of checking on your health. Like, don't take anything for granted when you're not feeling well. Again, some of you know I lost my best friend a month ago now. Yeah, a little over a month ago now, due to a situation similar to that. Wasn't feeling well, ignored the signs. Within, less than 24 hours of not feeling the best, or about 24 hours, he was no longer with us. For something that, had it been caught on time, he would likely still be with us. So do not ignore your body, when it's talking to you, and when you're not feeling well. Go to the doctor anyway, just in case. You're right. A man's health is wealth. Thank you for that. Okay, so moving on to our next story, we have Jasmine Sullivan, who, that's not Jasmine Sullivan, that's her mom. Jasmine Sullivan announced, this has been a couple weeks now, announced the passing of her mother on Saturday, July the 22nd. The singer revealed the tragic news in an Instagram post, and it read, "I don't have the words yet, mama. So for now, I'll say thank you, thank you, thank you. Rest now, butterfly." And her mom was born on October 26th of 1958 and passed away on July 22nd of 2003. And this story for me was one that I wanted to do, although, you know, it's a little past, was because of the fact that I followed Jasmine's career for years, because even the first time I ever remember her is when she was on Apollo. And there's a video, you can find it on YouTube, of her being on the kids version. What do they call it? Amateur night at the Apollo? I forgot what it was called. But anyway, she was on there, and her mom was really a huge influence in her career. Her mom is the reason. Her mom sacrificed a lot to, you know, make her career, etc. And so I know that, you know, and when you're close to your mom, you just kind of get it on a different level. So, but yeah, her mom has been responsible and guiding her since she was an adolescent to get her to this place. So I know that's a huge, huge loss for her. And oh, I had a video here that she also, if it'll play, I was having issues with these videos earlier. That's why the countdown took so long. And it's still doing it. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's got music, so I just got it on mute. But she did caption. Later, she did another post. If I can make it where I can read it so far over. She said, "To my mama, my world, since I was a kid, I watched you turn nothing into something over and over again. Seeing potential in the things people deemed as trash and leaving everything you touch more beautiful than you found it. Late October 2019, our world was flipped upside down when you were diagnosed with IBC, inflammatory breast cancer. Our days were no longer filled with convos of you telling me to hurry up and finish my project, but of chemo treatments and hospital visits. Ish got real fast, but if being your daughter has taught me one thing, it's how to work with something ugly, painful even, and make it a work of art. So that's what we've been doing since October, trying to make beauty of this ugliness. I'm sorry, y'all, this is so little and I'm struggling to put the words together. My eyes are straining. And it says, and to watch you handle yourself with such grace, wisdom, strength, and empathy for others while going through the toughest times in your life has been the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. You, mommy, are the prettiest picture, the best lyrics, and sweetest melody I've ever heard. And I'm so proud of you, proud to be your daughter. I know with all my heart that with your strength and determination and God's help, he will continue to carry us through and out of this time in our lives and give us testimony of complete healing and victory. So happy Mother's Day of many more to you, my joy. Loving you always." So that was Jasmine's message to her mom. And you see here that in solidarity to her mom, she had her hair shaved, and this is her mom currently on the screen. So wishing, as she said, complete healing for her. I don't know if you ever really completely heal, but wishing her, you know, healing and peace and comfort in the loss of her superhero on Earth, I'm sure. Okay, so that takes us to our next story. A lot of these today, y'all. A lot of them. Our last one is Drew Sidora from, interested in how many of you know who Drew Sidora is. She's been around a long time. But Drew Sidora, unfortunately, also lost her parents. She lost her father. She had posted, it is at this time with a heavy heart and great sadness that we mourn the passing of my father, Dr. Robert Andrew Jordan. There are no words to describe the grief in my heart with his passing, the love he showed as a husband, father, uncle, grandfather, physician, and so much more to everyone he met was truly unmatched. His legacy and memories will forever be cherished through all he met and loved, and the family asked for privacy during this time. I did not know that her father was a physician until reading this. So she actually gave a longer post. I'll play this. She actually did an Instagram kind of montage as well, but it's got Luther Vandross's Dance with My Father playing throughout. So y'all know I can't play that, but here's the video for y'all while I read her other caption. On Instagram, she said, let me try to move where I can see it. You've never prepared for the inevitable, but here we are. It is with tears flowing, I announce that my father, Dr. Robert Jordan, has made his transition into heaven. As my mom says, he fought a good fight and finished the race. With a smile on his face, he picked up his crown at heaven's gate. Thank y'all for allowing me to share my journey with my dad's battle with Alzheimer's disease. Thank you to all for your consistent messaging and writing me, sharing your own personal experiences with the loved one battling Alzheimer's disease and dementia. We're forever connected. I was a daddy's girl, and I will cherish the precious memories that will forever live in my heart, and his legacy lives forever. He was the best pediatrician in Chicago, and if you knew, you knew. He was passionate about helping people, saving lives, and providing quality health care to those in the indigent community. Okay. He served 4 generations of patients within his practice, and he will truly be missed. He had the most humble and sweetest spirit, and we will celebrate his life. Thank you for your condolences, and please keep my family in your prayers as we grieve. I thank God, knowing we will see you one day again, Daddy. So that was her message to her dad. And today, take that out. Today actually is the day that she laid her father to rest. So I was looking at the announcement of the services and the viewing. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the celebration of life is tomorrow. The viewing is today, was today. Oh, it is today. No, it was. It just ended 19 minutes ago because this is Central. So she's actually from Chicago, and I know exactly where they're having it at, Lincoln. This is interesting. I didn't pay attention to this part. I did look at where it was in Country Club Hills, which is a suburb of Chicago. But the funeral home, I got a story on the funeral home later. So anyway, the viewing was today from 6 to 8 p.m. And then tomorrow, y'all don't go bothering these people. Don't go showing up at this woman's daddy's service if y'all didn't know her. If y'all didn't know him and know her, the family, don't go there. But anyway, the services are tomorrow morning from 10 to 11, and it's on the south side of Chicago. That's actually in Chicago. But the viewing was in the burbs. Okay, so that takes us into our next story, which unfortunately is another tragic story. So this is an update on the story that we did last week. I'm pretty sure it was last week, of the young couple who, during the mom's during her delivery, her baby unfortunately got stuck. The shoulders got stuck, and the doctor applied way too much pressure, so much so that this Black female doctor detached the baby's head, and covered it up, wouldn't let them touch the baby, wouldn't let them see the baby. They when they did let them see the baby, it was in the the room they keep the baby in, the nursery, I guess, through the glass, and they just had the baby sitting in the wrapped up real tight with the head just kind of put there. Craziness. And I'm trying to describe it and not seem insensitive because it's just barbaric and crazy. So they covered it up. They told that they advised the parents to, and the parents wanted a C-section because they knew they were having issues with the delivery. They insisted that they didn't need to do that, didn't listen to the parents, still tried to do the, vaginal birth, and all of this happened. They then covered it up, tried to convince them to cremate the baby because now they're trying to get rid of any evidence. They thankfully, the parents, young parents, thankfully did not go that route. And so the baby ended up at the funeral home. Well, the funeral director, he said the first sign, and I got the little clip, but the first sign that something was wrong with, he was like, how did this infant come straight from the hospital versus from the coroner's office, which is where they would normally receive the bodies? That was the first red flag. And then he examined the body and saw that the baby's head was not attached. And for him, he thought the family knew, but in conversation with the grandmother, he then finds out they did not know about that. And so it led to him then reporting it and blowing the whistle on this thing. So I'm going to play this clip for you guys, and we'll come back with more.
In a horrible, horrible story, for the first time, we're hearing from the funeral home director that blew the whistle after he received a decapitated baby from a Metro Atlanta hospital. Atlanta News First Patrick Quinn is live tonight south of Atlanta outside Watkins Funeral Home that's in Riverdale. And Patrick, the family and agencies across the county are thanking staff there for speaking up.
Rick, the truth of the matter is, without Sylvania Watkins here, seeing this baby, noticing something was wrong, and speaking out, not only will a multi-agency investigation into this death may not be happening, but also the family might not know the truth around this young boy's death.
I've seen almost everything, and I won't say that no more because this was something I had never seen.
In mid-July, Sylvania Watkins at Willie A. Watkins Funeral Home in Riverdale received a baby's body from a nearby hospital. It didn't look right to have come from a hospital and not the coroner. He called the family and quickly realized
they didn't know. They did not know.
The parents did not know the boy's true condition. His body was detached from his head.
And seeing the pain and anguish as if like, what really just happened? Your heart goes out to them.
It was then Watkins knew he had to alert authorities. His next call, the Clayton County Medical Examiner, who now has urged the Georgia Composite Medical Board and the Secretary of State's office to investigate 3 specific doctors and the nursing staff at Southern Regional Medical Center. The family has since filed a lawsuit against the hospital and medical staff involved in the birth.
It was just horrible, despicable, terrifying.
Kimberly Seals-Allers is a maternal health advocate and executive director of Earth, an app that turns Black and brown birth experiences into data to spark change. Here in Georgia in 2022, state data shows Black infants are more than twice as likely to die during birth than white infants.
When we see systemic issues like that, this is a cultural problem, and these are the things that need to be rooted out, not just at this particular facility, but out of healthcare providers who have grown to dehumanize us and our infants.
Seals-Allers says change in birthing rooms starts with speaking up. For Sylvania, initially speechless, he found his words.
When you see wrong and it's something you can do to make it right to a certain degree, you got to speak up. You got to speak up.
And in the latest statement from the hospital, the Southern Regional Medical Center, a spokesperson said, as our deepest sympathies remain with the family, Southern Regional Medical Center denies the allegations of wrongdoing in the complaint referencing the hospital. Now, Sylvania went on to tell me that they were see their baby before he was buried. In Riverdale, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, so that very unfortunate story. We do know that the family did have a press conference last week, and so they do have attorneys. They are definitely looking to file suit. Hopefully some criminal charges will come down the pike too, because it was definitely a cover-up. And can you imagine this young mom, you know, she's taking pictures of the process of being pregnant, having that journey. You know, they're a young couple. And then to go from that to not only having a birth that, you know, ends this way, but then to find out that it didn't have to end this way and that it was malpractice was covered up. And the people who were buying it, because that's multiple people, professionals involved in that process for it to go down like that. It's just sad. So sad. So I'm gonna check a few questions and then we're gonna move on to our next topic. Chef Finest Wine is saying he seemed to have been an awesome man. She was fatally, oh my God, something seems fishy about. I don't know what, I'm not sure what we're talking about there. What did I talk about? That was one of the missing people? I don't know what that's for. I apologize. I have no idea what story we're talking about there. D Jackson, this is so sad. Black women need to be treated better during childbirth. Yeah, and I'm glad that there's advocates like the lady that they interviewed in this news piece that are advocating for that, because it's so important. And I've heard that there is systemic issues. I just personally haven't seen any situations. I just know that it exists. But I didn't never seen these sort of stories, particular stories. Jessica is saying, I'm so surprised the doctor forced a vaginal birth when any other time they go for C-sections. Yeah, I mean, it could have been she like, I'm trying to get off. I ain't got time for this. I mean, it could have been something as simple as that. Like, no, let me get this over with. Like, no, because that's going to require a surgeon. Then I got to do this or do that. Could have been that. Who knows? Obviously, whatever it was, she didn't care, which is horrible because she's another Black woman. So imagine other things, because what else has she covered up? How many other women have been treated horribly wrong by her? Right. And Deshaun is saying they need to shut this hospital down. And I saw there were comments the first time I did this story last week where there were people from the area, who were saying the hospital has a horrible reputation. Okay, see what else we got here. Right. Nicole Driver is saying, thank God for the funeral director. Yeah, and I think that's why representation and all of that is so important, because who knows if they had gone to some other funeral home where people didn't look like them, etc., would they even have cared? So thank God, and you know, that it wasn't for this funeral director just about the money and let's just get this going so we can move on to the next. Okay, and RN Smith is saying, being a healthcare provider, RN, I would never risk my own license to cover for this doctor. Yeah, that's the part. Like I said, like it's obviously other people involved, because I'm sure the doctor wasn't the one wrapping up the baby and propping the baby up in the nursery or wherever they put the baby for the parents to see the baby from behind the glass, and wouldn't even allow. I'm like, can they even tell you can't touch your own deceased child? Because I'm like, I don't know where's that a rule that I can't touch my own child? A child that just came out of me, I can't touch, or just came out of my wife, my partner, I can't touch him? What? By the time I finished suing the hospital, it would have been named after me. Yeah. My friend just finished nursing school, and the thing she heard and learned from textbooks, wow, they are taught that Black women don't feel pain. Yeah, I know that as much as white women, I know that they did studies. Well, you know, because they used to use Black people as experiments anyway. But I heard that they have supposedly were doing studies back in the day. Yeah, craziness, just like the Tuskegee experiment and all that with syphilis. All right, we're gonna move on to the next story for the sake of time. What we at with time? Not too bad, not as bad as I thought. I'm trying to get these lives down so I don't burn myself out. so it won't be like y'all seeing me once a month or once every other week. Okay, so the next story we have, another unfortunate story, is the story of the young lady who worked at Brooklyn, is her name, worked at Home Depot as a contract worker, basically doing inventory for a third-party company. And this story is crazy. It was bad enough when you just hear the beginning of the story, but as it comes together. So according to an arrest report, 20-year-old Keith Agee was seen walking down aisle 52 in a Home Depot and on Davis Highway, and this happened on Friday. And witness says that's when he exchanged words with the contract worker at the store and then took her life. And they said that at that point they were still looking. This is because I pulled this a couple days ago. They were still looking for a motive, and they were trying to figure out exactly why he did that to her. Well, the update on the story is that this was her baby daddy, and they estranged though, and he basically there were some domestic violence issues, and so she left him, and she basically was at the point of just trying to live her life, work, and take care of her baby, and keep her distance from him. Well, he decides to, and he had, from what they were saying, domestic violence issues, and he had been to court, police call, all that, with her, but also with another young lady. I don't know if that's incorrect reporting, but they said the original reports of the domestic violence charges he had were with another young woman as well. And it was very recent. I think as recent as April, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with that, but it was very recent. And they said that the charges were dropped because the person didn't show up to court, the young lady. So don't know if that's her. All of that stuff will come out. So long story short, he went there, took her life. Then it was like a manhunt after him. He didn't get very far. He ended up at a restaurant not too far away. He ended up calling the police and telling them basically, come get me, come pick me up. He realized he wasn't going to get away with it. He wasn't even from Florida where it happened. He was from, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama. Not even from where it happened. So that was another part. They were speculating that maybe part of the reason why he gave himself up so quickly was because he had nowhere to go and didn't know where to go. Well, here's the twist to the story. So I'm gonna go and play this clip for you. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna play this for you, and then we'll talk about the
report.
Flip to the story.
20-year-old Keith Agee was seen walking down aisle 52 in the Home Depot on Davis Highway Friday. Witnesses say that's when Agee exchanged words with a contract worker at the store. The report says he then shot and killed her. Family members Monday identifying the victim as 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims.
We're still looking at the motive, trying to figure out exactly why he did this, certainly why he did this on that date in such a public area. But there was a past relationship, so it is considered to be domestic violence.
Court records show Agee was arrested in February on domestic violence charges in Mobile, involving a different woman, but those charges were dismissed in May. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons encouraging anyone who may be in a dangerous situation to reach out for help.
If you are the victim of domestic violence, whether you think it's a one-time thing or not, you need to call law enforcement because, again, too often these things escalate, and unfortunately, as we saw on Friday, they can escalate to a point where someone's killed.
According to deputies, 2 other contract employees who were working in that same aisle were also shot as they tried to run away. Those 2 workers are expected to survive. Deputies say AG ran from the store and drove away, but later turned himself in. AG is charged with first-degree premeditated murder and aggravated battery.
So that's where the story originally left off, and then there was an update. Now the family ended up having. I'm going to play this clip. The family ended up speaking out, and they ended up having a balloon release. And here's the clip on that, and some of the other updates.
Friends gathered for a balloon release to remember her life. They told WKRG News 5's Jeremy Jones that they hope Brooklyn's death brings more awareness to how domestic violence can progress quickly.
Family and friends coming together to remember the life of 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims, who was shot and killed while working at a Home Depot in Pensacola last Friday afternoon. Those closest to Brooklyn describe her as the life of the party and a loving mother to her 2-year-old daughter, Casey.
The way she could make you laugh. She could walk in a room and not say anything and just light up the whole room. I'm gonna miss that about her. It's a reason people used to call her my twin. Like, it's not just because we look alike, we act alike too.
Brooklyn was a soft-spoken young lady. She had a smile that would light up a room. She's a daughter, she's a sister, she's a cousin, and most importantly, she's a mother.
Because the last time I talked to my sister, she just wanted to be a good mother, raise her daughter.
Investigators arrested Keith Agee and charged him with murder and 2 counts of aggravated battery for reportedly injuring 2 others inside the store, according to an arrest report. Investigators say Agee and Sims had a relationship previously, and family says he was the father of her child. Sims' longtime friend and co-worker Xianxing Parnell being one of the people injured inside the store during the gunfire. She was shot in the hand while trying to run out the store.
Bullets ricocheting because they were bouncing off things, and just trying to run, just first thing telling me move. I actually had to hide behind some boxes, like on the aisle, like where a shelf was. I got behind it and put some boxes in front of me, and I stayed there until some more people came by and they seen me and they was like, come on, it's the exit here.
As the family works on putting the pieces together to make sure Brooklyn's daughter remembers her mother in the future, family members hope her story can shed a light on a bigger issue: domestic violence.
If you are going through something like this, reach out. There are resources out in the community. You can call 211, talk to someone, tell someone, let someone know. Every threat should be taken seriously.
In Citronelle, Jeremy Jones, WKRG News 5.
So that was where the story we thought had ended. And then within a day or so of that balloon release, there was new developments. And some of y'all just love producing and giving away the story. For those who we got, 65% of the people don't know this story, and y'all in the comments just giving it away before I get to it. I love that. All this hard work I do, y'all just like, oh, let me tell him before he do. Oh, anyway, so it ended there. People are just wondering, like, what would make him do it, et cetera. They know it's domestic violence, but like, why pop up at her job, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we end up finding out why, because this dude's mother told him where she was and taunted him and basically told him, come get her, come take her life. The young lady, Brooklyn, and the baby's grandmother, also her boyfriend's mother, ex-boyfriend's mother, baby daddy's mama, was her co-worker who got her the job with this third-party company at Home Depot to do inventory. This woman drove her to work, drove Brooklyn to work, was texting with her son throughout the workday saying, when you gonna get her? The original plan was for her to when she was taking Brooklyn home for work, because they were minutes from getting off of work. The plan was originally she was going to drop Brooklyn off at home, and he was supposed to pull up on them and then pow pow. The mom, her biggest concern was don't shoot me. So the mom says, well, you could come do it here. And he decides to go into Home Depot, a public place, because he also didn't want to do it in front of the baby, his child. But you rather you don't want to do it in front of the child, but you want to take the child's mom forever. He ends up showing up to the Home Depot. The mom is giving him the address where they are, et cetera, et cetera. And the mom was behind it. The mom set this up. Where we're not clear yet is why the hell would the mom set her up like that? What? Yeah. Also, well, I'll play this clip because it gives that piece away too. Like some of y'all in this chat.
Bombshell revelation in the Home Depot shooting. It
would be freezing. Let's try that again.
We begin tonight with a bombshell revelation in the Home Depot shooting that killed an 18-year-old woman Friday. The suspect's mother, Sheila Agee, is now facing charges of principal to first-degree murder.
She was arrested last night shortly after she was arrested.
That's me rewinding. Agee just in case you're not sure what's happening here, that balloon release I just showed y'all, the video of the family grieving and releasing balloons in memory of Brooklyn, the beautiful mother who was tragically taken. Oh, I was about to say some words I shouldn't be saying on YouTube. This monster showed up at the balloon release, y'all. That's her on the news. That's her. This is her. She got on the same damn shirt too. I think they got her the same day. They must have got her the same day. That's the same shirt. She showed up. Yes, Renee asked. She showed up. Like she ain't had nothing to do with it. Plotted to have the girl killed. Taunted her son to kill her, and then showed up and grinned and smiled and cried and all of that in the family's face in front of the news and everything. Trifling. I ain't want y'all to miss that. There's more to the story.
Now facing charges of principal to first-degree murder.
She was arrested last night shortly after attending a celebration of life for the teenager she is now accused of helping murder. That victim was Brooklyn Sims, and the suspected shooter is Sheila's son, Keith.
The Escambia County Sheriff's Office released text messages between Sheila and Keith. In them, we learned Sheila drove Sims to work that day, and she offers to tell her son where Sims was working. She also appears to egg him on.
The apparent plan was to get Sims in Sheila's car, then when she exits the car, Keith would follow and shoot her. Instead, it seems Keith simply drove to the Home Depot and opened fire there.
Now, it's not clear where Sheila was at the time of the shooting, but it seems she was at the Home Depot there.
Escambia County, Florida Sheriff Chip Simmons says she was seen outside the store after the shooting. Today, we asked him how this case compares to others he's seen.
That's enough of that. Yes, y'all. She worked with her, drove her to work. They even, one of the relatives in one of the news clips said they were on FaceTime with her. Y'all know what I'm trying to point. Her. There we go. Her. She was on FaceTime with her, Brooklyn, and a family member laughing and talking just a couple hours before this. Plotting on her. And this is like the whole psychology of people. And it's like, dang, who can you really trust? Because this woman is giving her rides. They're close enough that she's giving her rides to work. She got Brooklyn the job. And you want her gone? What is this? What is this? So I do have the text messages. We are going to try our best to get through it. Now, my reading is just struggling tonight anyway, because I'm tired. But these messages is in Ebonics. Ebonics from like the early 1600s. So I'm going to do my best to get through it for y'all. Like, try to decipher it. Because they doing all kind of stuff I ain't never seen before. So this is the text message between the mama and Sheila AG and her son Keith AG. I'm gonna just keep their pictures up, y'all. It's so little anyway. Can I enlarge it? I think I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it a little bigger. Nope, it won't let me. And I just messed up my screen. Hold on. Give me a second. Try it again. Let me pull it back. All right. I'm gonna be struggling a little bit, but we'll get through it. So Keith says, now this is the crazy part. These fools, I learned this from Tim Norman, from the Tim Norman trial. When they want to get stuff on you, like if it's electronic, ain't nothing ever gone or deleted. Don't y'all ever think that. It's never gone or deleted. So anyway, these fools that sat here and text out the whole plot line. So this is Keith. He says, Ish ain't do none but cost me money and gave me a effing, they got this part bleeped out and I can't tell, a blank. I'm finna just shoot her. I know I hate that for, and then he gives the daughter name, but bruh, like I said, I can't take it. I don't give a F no more. He put IDGAF, so I had to decipher. The mom says, okay. The mother didn't text. She says, okay, I'll call you and tell you MF if you want to go to jail. I'll tell you when you get close. But if you don't come K her, you a MFer bitch. This is the mama. The mama then say, another text message, don't call Nana and tell her she will try to talk you out of it. She deserves life. She don't need to ever see the sky ever again in her life. And I don't want the unalive penalty for her either. I just want her to suffer and get, tortured in jail. Keith says, I ain't even gonna tell her why I left. I'm just say I gotta go to the dentist. You just make up a dentist appointment. What? That's something people can verify. But anyway, the mother says, don't even go there. She won't know you left. Don't shoot my MF car. I don't want to die. But you want her to. He says, I'm not. The mother, wait till I put her out. Totally plotting this out. This almost feel like I'm reading the Tim Norman stuff all over again. Wait till I put her out. Keith, I was gonna wait till she got out. The mom, okay. Keith then says, bruh, that's another thing. If she don't get out the car, mama, and I have to drag her out or can't, I'm going to ask you to step out because I'm open the door, just shoot her. I'm just using the words, y'all. I can't do the whole deciphering YouTube language and this and make it through this ebonics. Okay. Mother says, as long as you don't shoot me. Mother, hell, if you getting off work now, I'll give you the address here and you can ride over here and do it so you don't have to do it in front of daughter. They give the daughter's name, but they just got daughter here. It's been redacted. Keith says, send it to me. So she the one that told him, oh, don't even wait till I drop off at home. Come on here to, do you even care about your child? Come here to a public place with tons of hundreds of cameras around here and do it here. What? He says, send it to me. The mother says, we just in Pensacola. He then says, I'm on the way, send it. The mother, hold up, let me get it erased. No, hold up, let me get it erased. The text, because I don't want nobody to know I was texting you, stupid ass. He then says, I already deleted mine. Trust me, I ain't gonna say ish about us even talking today. And he abbreviated all that. He then says, what's the address? The mother then says, I can't wait to get back to the store to give you the address because you're gonna have to shoot me today. I done told you about cussing me. She crazy. Well, obviously, I mean, I ain't have to, it didn't take us to see this to know that from what we know now. He then says, all I want is that address, mama. I'm done talking. I done talked enough. I know what's gonna happen and I'm okay with that. I done already been thinking it through and they're the only way for me. I don't know why you so quick to star-ish with me, bruh. Again, must be scared of Brooklyn or something. I don't know. I'm going to be following this case, y'all, because these fools probably going to prove not guilty. Keith says she going to be on the floor, right? She going to be on the floor, right? ONNA, on the floor. Mother, waiting for you, Keith. I'm saying I'm gone. Have to find her in the back room or something. So he's saying, I'm saying, am gone. I guess he's saying, am I gonna have to this is torture, y'all. He's saying, am I gonna have to find her in the back room or something? The mom, nope. He says, okay. They are just flat out their goddamn mind. What? How does this psychologically, how does this work? How does this make sense? How did they even think there was a possibility to get away with this? At a Home Depot? A Home Depot. A Home Depot. What? He then says, stay out of my way. The mother, I am. Keith then says, LOL. I guess it's something to laugh about. Man, get off my phone. All I needed was the address. Leave me alone. Finish your work day. And you is too. I forgot just me. What? LOL, man, get off my phone. All I needed was the address. Leave me alone. Finish your work day. And you is too. I forgot just me. I don't know what that means, y'all. Sorry. So then he says, so that's the last thought of her known. He then says, so that's me trying to correct her. I'm sorry. He last says, so that last thought of her known, she effed. And the regret in her face will be enough to satisfy me. I don't give a F. What she sees when she dead. Wow. Yes, the F she do how the F I'm pick her up when your sorry ass trying to go gamble or hang out in Jackson and she don't pick up the phone. Nah, that ain't even gonna fly. She is just died before I let that continue. What? The mother, okay, whatever. I don't care. Do what you gotta do. I don't give a F. Because I'm going home today, not to hell or to jail. Lies you tell. He says, good for you. The mother says, okay, then stop texting me. I'm working. Do whatever you want to do. It don't affect me either effing way. Yeah, they're both of them bat-ish crazy. This is why everybody can't have kids, y'all. I don't care what people say. Everybody shouldn't have kids. Everybody should not have kids. This woman raised, could you imagine his upbringing? If she's casually having conversations about him, with him about taking a woman's life, the mother of his child, a woman who she's an 18-year-old, who she's getting jobs for and stuff, and she casually, like, just take a life. It ain't gonna bother me. I'm about to go gambling later. I'm going home after this. Let me finish my work. Get out and leave me alone. Did she really think she was gonna get away? Did she really think that she's slow? Did she really think deleting these text messages meant they were gone forever? What? She did. Let me get to y'all comments because this is overwhelming. Like my brain, it's a lot. I didn't read those. That was my first time reading through them. Jesus. Okay. Yes, Yvette, the mom did show up. Yep, she showed up at the balloon release. It's crazy. In domestic violence, it is usually considered more dangerous after the women have left. Yes, I've heard that as well. Still leave, y'all. Still leave. Get some help. Find services that can help you with the process, but please leave. What in the world is wrong with people? Do they not think about their children suffering from the loss of a parent? Obviously not. I mean, they had consciousness to know that it would be tragic for the 2-year-old to see that happen in their face, but never thought about the fact that it's also going to be tragic for them, for her, the baby girl, to not ever have her mom again. Hello. The text between the son and mom before the unalignment is unbelievable. Absolutely. Jessica is saying, I wonder if the family was alerted by the police and set up the balloon release to see if his mama would show up so they could show the jury how low down she is. I doubt that. I doubt that very seriously, Jessica, because if the family was alerted by the police that we're looking for her, we're hoping y'all invite her, she probably wouldn't have made it out of there alive. Like, that was a lot of family members, and some were on the news and all that interviewing. She wouldn't have made it out of my family's balloon release alive. I mean, at least a real good beatdown, like for real. So no, the police ain't tell them. The police know better. They know if we tell them like, oh, we suspect she got something to do with it. She not leaving looking like she's looking in this picture. So no, they did not. But they probably were tracking her, the police, but I'm sure they didn't share that with the family. Felicia B. I thought his mom worked with her and helped her. Yes, I said all that. I think maybe that came before I made those statements. Renee S is saying this is some of the craziest issue I've ever heard. We got to keep up on this case. Vell, want to hear the prosecution read these messages. Oh my God, yes. And this is what the police released. So there might be more. Maybe I know there will be, just based on my experience with trials now. I'm sure they'll have all the text message exchange, the fights leading up to this moment, because this is just like day of, here's the plot, come on, get her now. But it's like, how did we get here? So I'm sure that's the stuff that would come out potentially in the trial. He's even saying, well, I already didn't thought about what's going to happen. In my mind, he's thinking I'm going to get arrested and it's going to be worth it. I don't get it though. I'm like, what could have possibly happened to make you? Yeah. Jessica Johnson saying the problem with men like this is they get away with it for so long. He abused another woman and it had to take for him to someone to finally get to have accountability. Yeah, it's you're right. It's really sad that the way that, you know, these restraining orders and all of this works, and then they need cooperation from the cooperation from the victim. But sometimes if they're in the moment, the Stockholm syndrome stuff and all of that, that they may not do anything about it, or they may change their mind, or, you know, all of that, be love bombed and all of that. And so they continue to get away with it until it's too late. So very unfortunate situation, but yeah, I will keep this one on my radar. Y'all, I'll say this, y'all help keep this on my radar if y'all hear anything, because what happens is it's a few hundred, probably 1,000 stories out there now that have been covered, and I just can't keep track. So there's zero way that I can keep track of all these. So y'all just keep it on my radar if y'all hear of new developments, and be like, Vell, there's a change. Go, you know, check it out. So anyway, I have here in the poll we did, have you been in an abusive or domestic violence relationship? 44% of you said yes. 56 said no. So it's like almost half. So my prayer is that all of you are out of those situations now. And if you are not, please, please, please get the proper help to be able to get out of those situations. And as one of our people said, just be careful that that you plan your escape, but that you also get help in planning it. That way you're not more susceptible. These people be crazy. Yes, our Florida people, please keep us updated. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Precious, you got a job. That's your assignment. That's your homework. Keep track of this case. Okay, so we're moving on to our next unfortunate story, and this one is out of Chicago. And to my knowledge, it just happened today, I think, because while I was pulling stuff, I was wrapping up everything for this and trying to add some lighter topics into this, because I don't like everything be so heavy. But as I was doing that, I ran into this, and I was like, oh, I got to do this, because this is very, 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 very close to home. Did you hear about a shooting at a Chicago funeral home today? Someone was having a funeral service for a young man who I think they said was 8. I think the clip I pulled will mention that, but he was 18 years old. He was his life was taken, and they had his services. I think that was today. I'm pretty sure it was today. They had his services, and someone came there and shot up. Outside, shot up everyone in front of the funeral home. They said 50 rounds of bullets. 50 rounds of bullets. I'm like, what am I doing next? Let me play this video for. And one of the reasons it stuck out to me is Leak & Son is a pretty popular funeral home in Chicagoland area. They have 3 locations, like in the city, in the burbs, all of that. But it's also what I was saying earlier from Drew Sidora's father's passing and his services. This is the funeral home that's also doing his services. So that's how popular they are. And they also just did the services of my best friend a little over a month ago, and other people, friends and family over the years, like, not friends, thank God, you know, this is the first friend I ever lost. But anyway, yeah, family members and all that. So I'm very familiar with this funeral home. And I have been to this location. I was just going to say not this location, but no, I had a friend whose father passed away, and we went to this location for the visitation. So yes, I'm very familiar with this one. So anyway, here's the story, though.
Now, at least 2 people are shot, another person hurt following an ambush outside a funeral.
CBS 2's Suzanne Lemignot is live at University of Chicago Medical Center. That's where shooting victims are recovering right now. Suzanne.
Jim Marie, those 2 people in critical condition right here inside the hospital. A third person, I'm told by a police source, a woman, self-transported to another hospital. She was trampled. All of this happening as everyone tried to run from the gunshots. Evidence markers are next to the nearly 50 shell casings police recovered near 79th and Cottage in front of this Leak & Sons funeral home. A funeral was taking place here for 18-year-old Jakarian Johnson. The teen was shot to death earlier this month in the back of the Yards neighborhood. A person who was inside the funeral spoke to me off camera. They said a man wearing a black backpack and black hoodie walked into the funeral, and everyone inside started to duck under the pews. He was recognized as a gang member. The man went to the casket, took pictures of Johnson, then left. The witness says the man went to a car, then pulled up in front of the funeral home and started shooting at people on the sidewalk. The witness says someone who was attending the funeral started shooting back at the man in the car. Leak & Sons Funeral Home's vice president, Spencer Leak Jr., says years ago when there was a funeral for a victim of a homicide, there were no issues. But now that's changed nationwide.
This is happening not only in Chicago, but across the country. You know, you hear it in D.C., you hear about it in Philadelphia, you hear about it in California. So it's not a Chicago problem, it's a national problem. And nationally, our elected officials need to come together and say, and agree on something where we can get the guns out of people's hands, we can get the help that people need mentally and physically and emotionally.
Now we're told a police squad car was detailed to the funeral, and still someone came and opened fire on those attending. Police say right now, no one is in custody. In Hyde Park, Suzanne Lemonnier, CBS 2 News. Jim, Marie.
Yeah, so very unfortunate situation. And one of the reasons I decided to pull this story to share with y'all is because this was, for one, I've been hearing of this in other places as well. And I saw some of you commenting on that. But it's also not the first time. This was the thing that popped out first, was like, for one, my recent interaction with them, and the son who was just interviewed. I literally was interacting and talking to him at my friend's funeral. So but that was not this, what I should say, it's not the first incident like this to happen at this location. I haven't heard about this at the other locations in the Burbs though, but I could be wrong, but I can't recall. But this location, at least one other time, but I feel like it's been a couple. I feel like it's been like, this might be the third or fourth, but I don't know. Again, I'm like multitasking, so I'm not sure if in this particular clip, because he did a longer press conference, and in it, he talked about the frustration that they have overall with this. And he said that they have tried to do all that they could do as a funeral home for these sort of situations. With when they have these sort of situations, they actually call the police and try to get the police to stake out during these particular kind of services where there's homicide, basically saying gang activity. And he said that there was a squad car, a Chicago police squad car, staked out in front of this service. And they still did all of that with the police right there. They still did all of that. So there's like zero fear. And the fact of to come in someone's funeral, they know the person is a gang member. They basically know who it is. Everybody ducking because they are expecting that something's about to go down. They probably thought he was about to shoot up within there. Obviously, everybody ducking down. And then when he takes a picture of the deceased an 18-year-old deceased person. What is happening out here? I don't know, y'all. It's too much for me to process. Yeah, Courtney saying, so they don't care at all. At all. And they don't even fear it. Like, it used to be the things you could hold over people, at least back in my day. I'm starting to feel like an old man now. Back in my day, the thing you could hold over people to kind of get them to obey was either pain, physical pain, prison, physical pain, or like the threat of death. Well, they ain't afraid of none of it. So what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. I'm at a loss. You so bold that you walk up in somebody's funeral to take a picture, proof that you took the life of whoever you wanted to take. In this case, this young man's life, an 18-year-old, Jesus. Take a picture and you boldly walk out, and then you boldly pull up in a car and stake out, wait for the people to come out. for you to shoot up everybody with the police there. I don't know what can you do? I don't know, y'all. Let me just get to y'all comments. Maybe y'all got a solution for this. I doubt it. I doubt it. It's so much bigger than us. This is just Satan having a field day on this earth. So it's just, yeah, I said that. Alice is saying it also happened at the Stewart Funeral Home in DC not too long ago. Right. And that was one of the points that this vice president of this funeral home was saying. It's not a Chicago thing. Don't get it twisted. This is happening across the country. So this is a new thing. And he was saying in the longer press conference, he was like, they really didn't start seeing these sort of things until after the pandemic. So he's like, I don't know if that has something to do with it or what, but he was like, they've been in business, I think, well over 60-something years, I think even longer, 60-something years plus, something like that. And he's like, we have never had these issues until the past couple of years. It's like, what's happening? Yeah, Deborah Tab is saying, if you live in Chicago, you've been to AR Links. Yeah. It's probably the first funeral I went to was at AR Links. This happened in your city too, Courtney, a few days ago. What do we do, y'all? I don't know. What do we do? I don't know what to do. The person Renee S. took a picture, boldly walks in a funeral. I've been to relatives' funerals, and I won't take a picture even just for remembrance. I'm not going to take a picture. So much less in a disrespectful way, like, yeah, let me prove this N-word is dead. What? Yes, man. So I'm wondering if they all ducked. They got to know. They said they knew it was a gang member. So I'm thinking the opposite gang. I'm pretty sure that I was just going to say, well, wouldn't they now be able to identify him to the police? But I'm sure that they're going to handle that outside of law enforcement. So it'll be somebody else, funeral being shot up soon. Margin is saying this happened even in Kentucky. My husband aunt had a funeral home in Kentucky, and a man died about 30 years ago. Man died about 30. So you're saying this happened 30 years ago? A man died about 30 years ago. Are you saying this was happening 30 years ago? Am I reading this right? Maybe my comprehension is off. Interesting. I guess ain't nothing new under the sun. Also, there was actually a story I was going to do well over a month or so ago about a funeral director who ended up killing somebody at a funeral. So now what the funeral directors are doing, they're strapped. They're strapped to protect themselves. And like, can you blame them? And then there was another, I feel like someone sent me one in the VIP text community that I just haven't been able to add to the list yet. But anyway, so that's also, there are now stories coming out of these funeral directors who are pow-powing people because they got to protect themselves. Craziness. Right, Felicia B. They've been known to do that at the cemetery as well. Right, the two stories I'm thinking about, both of them happened at the cemetery. Right, pushing forward. He took the pig, then shot people. He probably was the one who unalived him. Yeah, that's what I'm definitely thinking. Which is crazy. I mean, just the boldness in that. If you are the person who unalived him and you're going there to get proof that, and just in some award kind of way, I'm gonna have an actual photo of you posted on my wall with others on my social media. Most likely the way these fools operate, probably on their social media. So I'm gonna put you on my social media as a, adding you to the list. Man, it's just psychology. Yvette is saying California, this stuff happens a lot between gangs as well. Felicia, they do that knowing that's where they can find who they're looking for. Typically, depending on the funeral, plainclothes police officers will be there. Yeah, I know that's also how they look at it too. Like, oh, we're gonna be able to get everybody up in here who's related to them all at once, or friends or whatever, whoever we're trying to get. No fear, no shame. Been watching too many gangster movies. Yeah. Were they doing that in gangster movies? Like, I can't remember. I just don't know off the top of my head. The mindset is they have more friends in jail and dead than they have walking free, so they don't care either way about threats. I guess it's a world I just am not familiar with. Can't identify with. We had drive-up windows at funeral homes back in the 90s in Los Angeles, in part due to gang rivalry shooting at one another. Oh, is that where that came from? Interesting, because we have that here. There's only one funeral home that I know who has it, and I want to say it was either in the early 2000s or late 90s that they created that as well. But I thought it was about to become a thing, but they're the only ones I know of in Chicago who have the drive up the drive up little where you can see the visitation, basically is what it's for this to be a trend now. So disturbing. Yeah, I mean, it makes us as people who won't have any association with situations like that say, well, let me be careful of whose services I go to, because what if these were co-workers of in attendance here was a co-worker of an aunt or cousin or sister or brother, not knowing all this other stuff connected to it. You go in there to support your friend or loved one, and the next thing you know, there are bullets ringing out, and you're like, I don't know nothing about none of this stuff. Yeah, but we all know these cops are being paid. Well, yeah, some, not all. We're not going to do that. We know some of these cops are being paid off. We'll go with that. Not all. All cops aren't bad. Just a lot. No, stop. No, we just happen to see a lot of stuff on social media a lot now. These streets are crazy. That's why we have to be involved with our kids' life. Yeah, I mean, yes, 100% Felicia B. The problem is Felicia B, is that you have people like this who involved in their kid's life. She shouldn't have been involved in her child's life, clearly. So I think we want the right kind of people involved in children's lives. Sometimes the parent ain't the right one. The parent ain't the right one to always be involved in that child's life. Child, adult, whatever. So, yes, I'm with you, though, but we got to get disclaimers out. We're in a world where we got to give disclaimers on this sort of stuff. We can't make blanket statements, because then we end up with this. Okay, moving on to our next topic. Yes, next topic. Ooh, where we at? Okay, we're gonna end it. It's gonna be wrapping up right at the 2-hour mark. I'm trying to get these live shorter, y'all, because even though these are gonna be highlights. These are gonna be highlights. For those of you I'm gonna clip them down. Don't get confused. There's nothing wrong with the live stream. It's a repeat. Okay. This story. So we have this story. Wait, did I close out this poll? 56% of you have heard of stories like this before. 44% of you have said no. You've been protected, but be very aware, because like I said, you could mistakenly be just going to support someone and end up in a funeral service of someone who has these sort of connections in their world. So just be mindful of that. It's a crazy time and crazy world we're in now. Here we go. So have you heard of the 12-year-old boy who was arrested while emptying garbage at his home? His father they were cleaning the house or whatever. The father was washing dishes. He tells his 12-year-old son, hey boy, go grab that garbage, go and take it out. Young man listens to his father. They live in an apartment complex. takes the garbage out, puts it in the dumpster chute. Next thing you know, he got a cop pulling up on him. Cop pulling up on him, questioning him. Next thing you know, he in handcuffs. The father's like, where that boy at? Like, he ain't came back in this house yet. Looks out the window. He sees his son surrounded by cops. He's like, what the hell is going on? So he rushes down the stairs, and that's kind of where this video picks up. Oh, was I able to pull? Oh, yeah, I was able to pull in. Some of y'all know I got a limit of how many videos I could pull in at a time, but this one I was able to fit in. Here we go. So this is him after his son has now officially been detained.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
His dad's coming out to see why they have put his son in handcuffs.
Yo, they put him in handcuffs. He was just coming to dump. Yo, that was some wrong shit, yo. But what the kid do, though? He fit the description. That's some bullshit. It ain't even him. I seen it. I seen it. That's what he did. You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma, they traumatized my son. You know? That's some wrong shit, though. That's wrong shit, yo. For real.
I'll mute the rest. So basically what's occurring here throughout the rest of the video is that the father has now tried to intervene. He's like, what are y'all doing to my son? You're traumatizing him. I just asked him to come out, empty the garbage, et cetera, et cetera. So what they're claiming is that they got a report of some a person fitting his description who had stole a Kia, because y'all know they got what they call the Kia boys who are still in the Kia cars. They're claiming that they got a description of someone on the loose, a Kia boy, who fit his description and had on the neon colored shorts and a white t-shirt. I'm kind of like, okay, but it's kind of clear this little boy is emptying the garbage at this point. And then all of this, and how harmful is he? Do we have to really handcuff him? I know people are saying he was arrested, but technically I've learned, because I watch a lot of these videos, that's called being detained. They can handcuff you to detain you, but it doesn't mean you're arrested. It's basically holding you. So now this is the father in the video. He's scolding them because he's like, I understand what y'all saying, but the whole approach and all of these cars and all of what y'all doing, you're psychologically damaging my son, who's an A student, perfect, no issues. He's not that kind of kid. And you're traumatizing him just by your approach to all of this. My thing is, I've seen them approach situations similar to this in totally harmless ways where they respect the person or the child, and they're having an actual conversation, and they're giving the benefit of the doubt, and it's innocent until proven guilty, even on the streets. Not like guilty and you prove to me that you're not, you know, all of that. And so that's basically the video. So this father, and I think he's Jamaican. You can hear it in his accent. He ain't playing. He's going in for his son, and I appreciate this. These are Renee S. I think that was Renee S. These are the kind of parents we need. These are the kind of people we need raising kids. Not that other one. Not that other one. And so he ain't done, because not only did this, you know, get out on social media and go viral or whatever, he also is he took this to what's this, ABC, one of the national news. So here's a news clip of this where the father and the son speak out.
2-year-old handcuffed by police while he was taking out the trash. Police said with a case of mistaken identity. DeMarco Morgan is here with that. Good morning, DeMarco.
Michael, good morning to you. The father says what happened to his son should have never happened, telling us the 12-year-old boy is a straight-A student in school who wants to later become an engineer. The father going on to say the situation could have ended badly had his son panicked and took off running.
When it happened, I was really shocked and frightened about the situation and how it happened.
This morning, 12-year-old Tayshawn Bernard speaking out for the first time after being handcuffed and detained by Lansing, Michigan police while taking out the trash in what authorities are calling a case of mistaken identity.
And right now I'm feeling just the same way, just really shocked how this kind of came to this circumstance of what's going on.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Cell phone video of the incident seen by millions, sparking outrage and a demand for answers.
I was so mad I didn't want to hear anything.
His father, Michael Bernard, horrified and disgusted.
In this time and era in America, I am scared for anything to happen to my son.
Michael says it all started when he asked his son to take the trash out to the dumpster at their apartment complex last Thursday.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
When the preteen didn't return after being gone for several minutes, the father says he looked outside to find Tayshawn surrounded by police.
I saw police around him, so I dropped what I had in my hand and rushed downstairs, and I said to the police officer, I said, why you have my son in handcuffs? What's the problem?
Tayshawn was released moments later, but visibly shaken, turning his back to officers as his father, seen here visibly upset as well, continuing to chastise officers as a neighbor continues to record.
I'm just washing up my dishes. I said, son, can you take the garbage down?
That's what he did.
You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma, they traumatized my son.
He's still puzzled until now. He asks a question, what have I done?
The Lansing Police Department posting on Facebook, our officers was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Tayshawn wearing a very similar outfit and put cuffs on him. Attorneys for the boys say Tayshawn did not have on a white shirt.
The shirt that he was wearing was a light gray or a light bluish color shirt. There's no mistaking if you see that shirt.
The department continuing, our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve. And the police chief later posting a separate apology. This morning, the Bernard family wanted accountability and says they are keeping all options on the table, including the possibility of filing a lawsuit.
I want justice for my son. Justice.
The mayor also apologizing for the ordeal, telling ABC News LPD is in contact with the family and providing support for any trauma involved, saying our officers do their absolute best to protect Lansing. But in this case, a mistake was made and we own it and apologize to those affected. But the family tells us in response they have yet to be contacted by the mayor or police.
So y'all see how they lied that quick? They saying that they contacted the family, the police and the mayor have contacted the family, and they're basically talking with them. And this is what the news media does. They will confirm and verify with the sources, and they then reach back out to the family and say, "Oh, so you guys are working with the police and the mayor? They've contacted you guys. How are things going with that?" And the family like, "We ain't heard from them. They ain't talking to us." They trying to save face in the public eye. I did pull this, and like part of me, as I was watching, like, I probably don't even want to read this, but let's see if I can read this. This is a statement from the Lansing Police Department. I actually have a friend who grew up there. I've spent some time in Lansing. Back in the 90s for sure, a lot of time. Anyway, it goes on to say, please see the below statement from Chief Elrie Soisby. And he says, the officers of the Lansing Police Department are working very hard to address the recent car thefts. Hold on, let me make this so I can see it a little better. The recent car thefts plaguing our city. In doing so, yesterday, officers detained a young man who was wearing similar clothing and in the same apartment complex as an accused car thief who fled from officers on foot. When the officer made initial contact, it was near a trash bin, but was after he had disposed of any garbage. The young man was then released to his father when eliminated as the accused. The command officer on the scene made contact with the young man's father and explained the situation and apologized for the misunderstanding. I have reviewed the incident and can confirm the officers who contacted and detained the young man was respectful and professional during the investigation. To me, the disrespect comes with the handcuffs on my baby. That's just how I roll. Don't put my baby in handcuffs. Once you put them in handcuffs, you're disrespecting the situation. When they're innocent, they're guilty, have at it. We got to teach them a lesson. When they're innocent, I've seen y'all do this. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't resisting arrest. He wasn't cursing y'all out. This little soft-spoken baby voice little boy wasn't giving y'all no threat. And it's a bunch of y'all big, tough officers around him with tasers and guns and mace and everything else. Let's just have a conversation. Maybe give you that. I'll give you that. You want to make sure he don't get away? I'll give you that. Do not put handcuffs on my baby. That's what you violated him and me. He goes on to say, it's unfortunate that incidents like this occur, but through communication and sharing of information, we can help people understand the whole story. We understand that something like this has an impact on all parties involved, especially a young child's mind. Yes. As the chief of police, I wonder how they would feel if their child just got handcuffed first and then asked questions later. As the chief of police, I want to apologize that this incident has such an effect on this young man and his family. I'm asking for the community to understand all the facts of the situation before making judgment. The relationship with our community has been and will continue to be a top priority for the Lansing Police Department. You can take that damn thing and shove it up your ass. And on top of that, y'all lying and talking about I guess the mayor lied. I don't know who, was it the mayor who lied or was it chief of police? I don't know who lied. Talking about y'all to talk to this family and y'all in talks with him and y'all ain't did none of that. It's with this one. Handcuffing him wasn't necessary at that point, if you ask me. You trying to verify, don't handcuff. He a little boy. Frail little boy at that. Might be tall, but we always a threat. Even our babies could look so innocent and frail. We listen to his little voice and we like, oh, that boy is harmless. Look, harmless. They like, oh, he's a threat, he black. Deshaun is saying, this happens every day, shaking my head so sad. Yeah, it's true, Deshaun. I mean, the great thing about cell phones, is having cameras on them and stuff, is that it's just exposing what's always existed. It ain't, some people think it's getting so bad with police. Oh, this is, no. This has always existed. It's just now it's been captured. We didn't have that. When I grew up, I've had situations, I've had guns pulled on me. I think when I was about 11 or 12 the first time I had a police threatened to pull a gun on me for something. It was stupid. I ain't gonna even go into it. But yeah, I've had guns pulled on me multiple times. And I've definitely been driving while black. Oh my God, they used to get me together. To this point, my heart still drops. I rarely get ever pulled over now, but my heart still drops when the police is in my vicinity. When oh my God, if I see him in the mirror, I see him on the side of the road, I'm like, Lord Jesus, because you just don't know. Ooh. Anyway, Precious G says, and calls for backup is what really has me vexed. Yeah, all of those cop cars for this one little baby. Even if he was a kill boy, all that. Did the neighbor call the cop on him? Why would they just randomly put? I think you, Jessica, I think I saw you post that prior to us getting deeper into the story. So it's for those who may have missed it. No one called the well. They were after. They say because they say that they were after. There was a young boy fitting his description who had just stole a car and he got away and he ran from them. So that's why they picked him up. That's what they're saying. Case of mistaken identity while dumping garbage. Yes, yes. And he's like, but we ain't see him dumping the garbage. The dude is in, wait, on top of that, he's in flip-flops. Are those Crocs? I can't quite tell, but they look, or maybe they gym shoes. Have to look at the video again. Hold on, I'm curious. What do he got on? Oh, come on, computer. I was trying to fast forward a little bit. Now it didn't froze on me. Okay, I'll read this comment while it's rebooting. Talk about suing the draws off their behind. The only thing I hate about that is it comes out of the city. Yeah, city's pockets needs to be their pension, homes, etc. That little boy looks so out of it in the interview. Yeah, he's emotionally damaged from that. Jessica saying, thank goodness the father was present. Yes, who knows what would have happened to the poor child. Yes, absolutely. I was thinking the same thing when I first watched the video. Like, thank God his father was present, so close by. And a figure in which I think he exercised his authority as much as he could. And as politely as he could, while also letting him know, this is not about to go down here with my son. Marianne is saying they said he looked like someone, and I don't believe that crap. I hope they sue him for everything. Yeah, thank God they weren't trigger happy. I was trying to see his shoes, but it takes so long to get to that part of the video. That's totally wrong. And yeah, why did they have all those police officers? Kiki Fives, all they have to do is ask his name. Now, I do get the asking name part. That's not going to necessarily help in this particular kind of situation because thieves, criminals, etc., they'll tell the police anything as far as names. But I do believe that in their investigation of the situation, they could have done it because of the fact he did not appear to be a threat. They could have done it in a less forceful manner, and putting him in handcuffs and all that, I think was just like unnecessarily extra. Got them all at the car. 4 police officers around him right at this moment. And was it 2 more cars then pulled up? Like all of that. And somebody on social media was pointing out how the black officer seemed to be just cool with it. Like she just like, whatever. She just laid back, ain't like really trying to step up and say, you know, hey, let me step in here and let me handle him. Right. Robert L. That's a hands-on daddy. Absolutely. That is absolutely a hands-on daddy. I was trying. Oh, but now they got this caption there covering up his shoe. I was trying to see what he had on. It's no, he got on. Damn, I can't tell. They got the damn thing right there. No, I think I just saw his heel. It looked like he got on Crocs. So how he running that good in some damn Crocs? Hopefully I could see. Hopefully, come on now. Those are Crocs. I just saw like the toe. Pan the camera back on the boy. Crocs. He got on Crocs, y'all. Crocs. How is he running? How is he the one y'all was just chasing and he got on Crocs? And he got the strap in the front. The strap ain't even on the back. It's not in, as they say, sport mode. Them Crocs ain't on sport mode. Quit playing in our face. No benefit of the doubt. When you're investigating, if you're a professional police officer, things like this that I'm noticing and saying, well, the likelihood of him being the one we was just chasing, he got on some goddamn Crocs, are very slim. Let me ask him some more questions to make sure. Not let me handcuff him, put him in the back of the car, and call all my cronies. Ooh, Jesus. Let me get off here for y'all been and cancel me from YouTube. Jessica saying, wow, so the police just detained the poor child with the parent present. Is that no, it's not illegal. Unfortunately, police can detain you for an investigation if they have probable cause, or AKA can make up an excuse that sounds like probable cause. Either and, which they do both. Yeah. So no, there was nothing illegal about them detaining him. It's more from the moral perspective of how they went about it, and he's totally innocent. And the fact that, again, they could have asked some questions. He didn't seem argumentative. Could have asked him questions to try to verify, where are you coming from, young man? Like, what's happening here? Why are you over here by the dumpster? Oh, I'm just dumping garbage. My daddy just told me to do it. He washing dishes. He right there in the window. Could you call your daddy? Hey, sir, can you come down? We're just trying to verify. He's like, yeah, this is my son. This is okay. Sorry to bother y'all. Just trying to make sure we're looking for somebody stealing cars. We don't want y'all car to get stolen. Could have went totally different. Not handcuff them and come on, calling all squad cars. We got a 12-year-old. Danger to society. I think he dripped some juice as he was walking the trash to the dumpster. How long should we give him in prison? I'm leaving it alone. You read that the cops had their hands on the firearms as they approached the child. I haven't seen that. I don't know. Y'all know I'm like, I need proof before I go certain places with stories. But the lies, the officer didn't make contact with the father. The father came out and made contact with them. Well, yeah, but I think they were saying after the. Well, yes, you're right. You're right. The way they worded it, you're totally right, Sugar. Now I'm clicking with I'm comprehending where you were going with that. You're right. You're so right. The father is the one. What I just described they should have done would have been them making contact with the father. Like, hey, oh, you coming out because your father sent you down? Could you yell up to him? Where's your unit? We're going to walk you to your unit. Something. Or we're going to keep you down here because I know they can say, well, he running the house and we didn't want that to happen. Keep him, one officer, keep him down here. The other, what apartment are you coming from? Let me go up there and knock on the door and see if this is true. So many ways that could have happened differently. That other people would have got benefit of the doubt for that to happen. Oh, yes, I am unique saying I read that on my news feed. So you're reading also, I think what I just said about them having their hands on. I'm not surprised. Okay. About them having their hands on the firearm. I mean, I just literally today, YouTube just, I don't know, because I was pulling some of these stories. YouTube will, y'all know, it'll take you down a rabbit hole. And all of a sudden it's showing me all these police cam videos of, harassment and all the horrible arrests. And there's a couple channels I actually watch occasionally, but it'll take me down a rabbit hole and get me all in a paranoid state of mind with the police. But I was watching a bunch of videos like that, where that was one that I may do where they actually a 60-year-old Hispanic woman, 4 feet tall. She was door dashing. She went to McDonald's to get somebody's DoorDash. She pulls out. Police is staking out, waiting on see people speeding or whatever. Sees that she has one of her headlights is out. Pull her over. She ended up driving past like a couple blocks because she said when he finally pulled her over, because he's all aggressive, why didn't you stop immediately when I blah, blah, blah? And she's like, you could tell she broken language, English or whatever. She's like, I didn't know at first that you would, for me, I thought you were going past. He was like, well, you always pull over to the right for emergency vehicles. It's like, well, she did when she kind of realized she pulled up to the right and kept driving. And then she eventually pulled up. Anyway, it wasn't even like she went a long way. It's kind of like he was being extra. Long story short, it led to him yanking her out of her car, calling for backup. They maced the lady. They done got on a 4-foot woman, got her all in the car, pinned up against the car, all kind of craziness. Because she didn't quite understand the English language and she had a headlight that was out. Craziness. The homeless advocate says, I live in Michigan. A lot of minorities have Stockholm syndrome. And well, I think we all, I think it's kind of in general. I don't think it's isolated to certain states. I believe it's generational, to be honest. As much as people, I mean, there's been studies on it, like PTSD all the way through our ancestry, through what has occurred. If you look at a lot of pathology of us as Black people, you see the common thread. It weaves all the way back. So yeah, I've done some reading on those sort of things too. I try not to do too much of this on here because y'all, I could really go there. I can go to the history of policing and all of that, and its inception and capturing slaves and when it was invented, policing came out of that, all of that. I can't. It will change everything. Stop voting for people who say they're tough on crime because what they mean is give money to cops to terrorize y'all. Yeah, militarizing the police forces. Yeah. They got tanks and everything now. They got weapons of mass destruction to come in your neighborhood. I agree. We have to end qualified immunity and strip power from police unions so law enforcement pays settlement. I believe that that's going to be, I mean, their unions are so damn strong. Talking about some do it, Vell. Courtney, you gonna keep a roof over my head if I do it? And this channel just tanks. I'm with y'all though. Like, that's honestly the Reality Chronicles channel. That's part of the purpose of that, is so I could go there with these sort of things too. Over here, y'all keep pushing me, and I'm trying to be all PG over here. And y'all keep pushing me, trying to push me in. I just had a whole little conversation with the Patreon community about this channel and all that. So that's me at Vell. I love history, especially Black history. Yes, I love history in general, but especially Black history. Look at y'all. Let me get off of here. Y'all so, I ain't gonna say y'all bad. Y'all so good. I'm a lean more to into that on Reality Chronicles, because I'm not gonna get away from it. It needs to be spoken, it needs to be said, because there are people who don't know. I didn't know for many years until I became an adult and educated myself, and still am educating myself, and need to do better. Honestly, I've slipped a little bit. Too busy worried about gossip on social media. Like, I don't do enough of reading about the stuff that matters. Okay, so that's that story. What poll I had here? Should the family sue the Lansing police? I'm actually surprised at how high it is. 96% of you say yes. I would, because of, again, don't handcuff my child. Like, if this was always the way police handle things, it wouldn't mean it would be right, but then I would be like, okay, this is how they handle stuff. But I've just seen so many examples of how they don't handle this way with others. And it's like, I need y'all to just be across the board. Quit treating it like y'all capturing runaway slaves. This is not what this is no more. Anyway, do you watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta? Very curious, because I have a little story. It's just a little clip. Oh, I got to pull it in because I ran out of space. I couldn't pull it in earlier. Nicole is saying, I was going to read it. Let me see. Nicole is saying, my cousin, I want to say 4+ decades ago, give or take, was handcuffed and taken out by cops straight to the back. Yeah, I've heard of situation, and I'm sorry to hear that. Yes. I mean, we literally just did the story last week of the two Black men who were in their home, police came there because a white neighbor had an issue with them, came in there, tortured them, sodomized them, shot one of them in the mouth through, I'm not even supposed to be using these words, but powed one of them through the mouth. The guy now has a speech impediment. And now all six, I actually honestly had that story today because there's an update on them pleading guilty. I mean, did they really have a choice? So much proof and evidence. But they left one of the men to bleed to death. Craziness. And thankfully he survived. Thankfully they both survived, but they are traumatized. 6 officers come into these men's house and torture them like that. And then go home to their wife and kids and stuff like everything's all good. And get in vehicles that have to protect and serve decals on the side of the vehicle. What? Okay. Let's move on. Again, that's why I ended this on a lighter kind of. So I was like, because this was gonna be the last. So I was like, I need something. I need to add something. I hate to go over 2 hours, but let's talk about some shenanigans. So do you watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta? 38% of you say yes. 62% of you say no. This is kind of how the ratings are looking nowadays from what I'm hearing. It's really, I haven't watched this Sunday's episode yet. I guess I'll watch that later. But anyway, so there's a debate going on. Oh, I got to pull it in. But there's a debate currently going on from Sunday's episode, which I have not seen yet. But I do know that in Sunday's episode, Sheree, and I didn't think to pull their images, but you'll see them in a minute anyway. But Sheree had a birthday dinner that her alleged boyfriend was at. Hold on, let me pull this in. I'm gonna pause it right away.
Sheree, the streets are saying
Okay. So she has a birthday dinner and her newer boyfriend of less than a year, I think 8 months or something maybe now, and he's in attendance. When the bill comes, he pays the bill, but then he sends Cash App requests to everyone at the table. So now there's like this whole debate happening of how basically he's trifling, your man should have paid for our dinner, et cetera, et cetera. And there's this argument of whether or not he should have paid for for everyone who was attending Sheree's birthday dinner. So I'm going to play a little bit of this for copyright purposes. I can't play a ton of it because Bravo don't play. They like the mob when it comes to copyright. Copyright disclaimer.
Martell didn't pay for your birthday dinner.
Well, I did hear that it was you guys that had a conversation. Okay, now you're wrong.
You revealed the tea about him asking all the ladies for a cash out to pay for their dinner.
He didn't pay for her birthday dinner.
So they're laughing, blah, blah, blah.
Everyone thought that he should have picked up the bill, and Marlo and Sonia also thought it, and they were laughing behind Sheree's back.
The neck, then making you think that there's.
Okay. I'm sitting here trying to edit and produce in my head at the same time, but I'm like, it's better that I just don't play it because I know they're gonna get me. So the question is that I'm posing to y'all. So Sheree ends up getting into this whole little debate about the whole thing in the clip that I have there. And Sheree explained that Montel didn't put this dinner on. Sheree created her own birthday dinner. He was invited like everybody else was. So people were like, okay, well, now that we found out it wasn't his event, so to speak, for you, then that makes a little bit of a difference. But the question is, should Martell have paid for everyone's meal at her birthday dinner? He didn't create the event. He was in attendance like everyone else. He just happens to be her newer boyfriend. And it's some of y'all who think even if he was invited that he should have paid. Now, what I'm used to, I'm trying to think. I've only been to even one friend's birthday dinner where he kind of had it at a space. This guy's home that has like this really nice artistic home, and it was a catered dinner or whatever. And that friend just paid for everything. Was like, y'all don't owe me nothing. Usually when we do the birthday dinners, the friends split the total cost amongst whoever is there, and then the birthday person doesn't pay. So I didn't necessarily see anything wrong with this, but I guess at their level, they feel like, I guess they feel like the man should have just automatically paid. I don't know. Mika is saying, who said he was invited? Sheree said that he was basically invited just like everyone else. She said that in this clip. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen the actual episode yet, so I don't know what was said in the episode. But she said that it wasn't like he put it on. Now, Sheree being who she is, he may have put it on and she might be making an excuse. But that's what she said in the clip that I got there. I just can't play the whole thing for y'all. 65% of you say no. 35% of you say yes. I'm curious, of the 35% of you, why are you saying that if he was invited like everyone else, why should he have to pay for the whole table? I don't know. I didn't watch the episode, so I don't know. But I'm assuming it was what? At least 6 or 8 of them or more of them. The bill is easily probably a couple $1,000s. He's invited. He's a boyfriend, a new boyfriend at that. That leads me to my next question. On top of that, if he ain't the boyfriend, he's the TV boyfriend, should he have to pay? I'm just curious, like why y'all feel like in that case he still should. I'm gonna just click on random comments. There's 1 star. Let me see what's here. Oh, this Powered. Thank you so much, Power Dynamics. Knowing our history is power. Thank you, Vell. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Actually, knowing our history helps people not do the foolishness we see happening at these funeral homes. That's what they want y'all to do to each other. Not y'all, them. That's what they want. Thank you for helping them. Well, they're saying that. I think she's taking up for him because he didn't pay. Yeah, we here. They're like, he probably did. No, he may have. And again, this is all alleged. I don't know. But he may have said, hey, I'm gonna put a dinner together for you, blah, 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 what restaurant you want, da, da, da. And then, invite your friends, da, da, da. And she probably even thought he was going to pay. And then all of a sudden, she later found out he's sending out Cash App requests. I mean, you hear, I never watched, what was it, Love and Marriage, Huntsville, or whatever he was on. I only watched maybe the first episode or 2. I think only the first episode when it first came out years ago. And it just didn't quite hold my attention enough for me to go back to it. Vell Collective, though, is one I really like. And I just keep forgetting to finish watching. I stopped watching mid last season. So I got to finish that season and this new season. Or maybe I did, and now I just got to finish. But I like Vell Collective. That actually held my attention. It's just I got so much competing for my attention. But Huntsville just didn't do it for me for whatever reason. I can't even explain why. Maybe I just couldn't get invested in the characters. I don't know. Maybe it was him. I don't know. Because I do remember seeing him because he was all buff and stuff, but it was something about him that just wasn't working for me. Trying to see where I left off. Okay. I think she set that dinner up, not him. He don't even claim her. But doesn't he kind of claim her, like when they do the FaceTimes and they flirting and stuff, kind of ish, like on the show, kind of ish. I don't know I don't follow him like that, but I don't really know. But Sheree did say in the clip I just played, it's 5 minutes long, and y'all saw I just gave y'all seconds of it. She did say that she planned her own dinner. Right. Sheree said he was invited. Well, he should have never fronted and paid the whole bill in the first place. Correct, Sugar Sharon. So that probably alludes to him trying to put up appearances for maybe Sheree. Maybe that's maybe he was putting up appearances for Sheree to look like he paid the bill, but then behind her sent out all those Cash App requests. I don't know. Something ain't right about it. Whatever. You're right. You're totally right. Because if I'm not going to pay for it, why would I make you Cash App me when you really could have just used maybe your own card? However, this is the other side of that too. One thing about this. Some places don't split bills. Like they won't take multiple forms of payment. You got only. I was just at a restaurant with my friend's birthday dinner the other week that I told y'all when I missed that live stream. They would only take one payment method for each bill. So we did have to Cash App in that particular case. So maybe, possibly. I assume he hosted it. That's why I voted yes. Okay. Yeah, no, he didn't. From what she's saying, what Sheree is saying, he did not host it. I was wondering if she told them who was going to pay, etc. Yeah, it doesn't seem like no, I will say no, because they would have brought that up in the argument, which I just wish I could just play it without no problem. This is why I like to do stuff on Patreon too. Like I'm going to start leaning more on Patreon for some of this stuff because I can just let it rip and I don't have to worry about copyright and all that. But in that, they never once said, and you said he was going to pay. It wasn't none of that. It was, they were saying, well, we assumed based on this kind of thing. So she never said that. If he was truly just invited, then no, he should pay his way and for her dinner since they are together. Yeah, I would agree with that. Bob Wheatfield did a number on Sheree's self-esteem. Her taste in men is horrible. Yeah. Well, how about this way of looking at it as well? I offered this suggestion. Maybe her self-esteem was already bad and other things did a number on her self-esteem, which caused her to even get with Bob. And Martell is just another example of her bad choice in men. Bob, Martell, and whoever else we didn't know about. Oh, the other guy. What's his name? The jail guy. Tyrone. So I wouldn't necessarily say blame it on Bob. I mean, Bob definitely emotionally abused her, and I think she might have said physically too at points. Definitely something to that. But it could be that he's just one of the players in the script she's wrote for her own life. Martell is trifling. Let's be real. He ain't even got it like that with 5 kids and 2 baby mamas. He needs to be holding on to all his little coins. Yeah. And what does he do? Is he in real estate or something? Wasn't that what they were saying when the show first started? I don't know how true that is. Again, I don't follow him like that. The only reason his name is even a part of my vocabulary is because of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Sheree. That is the only reason. Jessica, I'm trying to figure out what she saw in Bob Whitfield. Money. What are y'all talking about, Alice? What do you mean? Money. The dude had money. We saw her in the first season. All right, we're finna get into a whole Housewives thing. But I can talk about this almost like I can talk about the Sweetie Pies. But yeah, I mean, we keep in mind the first season, it was all about, she was like trying to keep up with the one who was married to the basketball player who she only lasted 1 season and then he was divorcing her. She's sitting there with chefs and personal assistants and all of that, right? Courtney, money. money. That's what she saw in Bob. Her self-esteem had to be bad with Bob. Yes, I am agreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that piece of what y'all saying about Bob at all, but I'm saying let's go to the roots of this tree. We see the fruit that it bear, the sour fruit, but let's go to the root and say there's a good chance that was there before Bob, and possibly that was there before Bob, the low self-esteem and all that, and the bad choice in men. But Bob had money, so whereas it was a horrible choice in that way, it was a good choice because she got to have, she's all about appearances and all of that. We see this looking like, her life, living a lavish life, and she was, starting clothing lines that took us 2 decades to see. And then it just end up being her, put her name on Sheen stuff that I could do. We can have Vell B, what is it? He by Vell B. He by Vell B. I can do that too. I get an account with Sheen. have some joggers and some yoga mats for y'all. Get y'all some water jugs. It's way too big to do anything with. I'm like, I got this thing too big. It's a half gallon, but it's perfect for home. Anyway, no, that's not Sheree's, Renee. That's Drew Sidora. I just didn't pull anybody else's pictures in. And because she's on the show, I just kept it up there. I just put it up there. Okay, last story, and then we are getting out of here. Thank you all for spending this evening with me, 2.5 hours. This is why these lives be wearing me out, y'all. I get to talking and I can't stop. And it was hard for me to get on today because I was tired, y'all. Creatively tired. Last story. Oh, let me end this one first. What were we saying here? What did I just give y'all? Oh, Lord, it would take all day to come down here. I hate when it takes long to process the answer. Here it is. Do you think Sheree and Martell dating relationship is real? 81% of y'all say, hell no, quit playing in our face. 18% of y'all say it is real. I would love to hear from the 18% of y'all why you are still saying, in spite of all of the evidence that all the rest of us see, that it is real. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Not judging, just asking. So have you seen the video? What do I have here? Have you seen this video of the infants getting haircut / linings? I didn't even pull it in first. Hold on. Let me pull it in. It's supposed to be ready to go. Oh, this computer taking all day. This is like the craziest. Who that talking about some M. Nicole? M. Nicole, oh no. That's she said Tyra's father passed away. Who is Tiara? M. Nicole, who's Tiara? I thought you were talking about Drew Sidora's father passed away. I'm like, now where you been? Because we talked about that at the beginning of the show. Where is my hold on. Here it is. So there's this new trend out here, and I swear it has me cringing. And I'm like, maybe I'm old, maybe I'm old school. Some of y'all know that I've worked and been around, grew up in the childcare industry, nearly almost 30 years. So I understand children in a way that most people don't, and even most men, and some women. Some women, I can run circles around some of y'all with child development. I'm seeing this video, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing to these babies? And I'm gonna let y'all see it. I can't play the music anymore. I could have been playing it. They taking the infants. This dude got a straight razor on a baby's delicate skin and face, y'all. What is happening? Why does an infant, this baby what, 3-4 months? 3? That's what, a 2-3 month old? That's 2-3 months, ain't it, y'all? Or he is, I should say. I think it's a boy. Well, I'm assuming it's a boy based on these linings. I grew up in a time where you ain't supposed to get where it was a celebration of the baby's first birthday, first year, because that's when they got their first haircut. Before then, you better not touch that baby's head. You better not touch their hair because you don't want to damage. Well, again, some of it's wise tales, and I'm aware of that now. But you don't want to damage that child's brain. Like, you don't want to cut it too bad. You might make them slow. I know that's not an appropriate word to say, but everyone don't need. Renee S., thank you. If somebody's down, I don't know who down. If y'all still around, Precious or Marianne, you can put comments on the screen. Everybody don't need kids, right? Renee S. Let me play this again for y'all. I was in shock and awe. I'm like, why everything got to be a trend? And this guy, I wish I had been thinking. This is not the only baby he done did. He's a barber that is known for cutting babies' hair, infants' hair. He got a whole wall plastered of or on his IG, it was a whole bunch of them. I should have remembered to pull it. I wasn't even thinking. I'm like, what the hell? And then you got to keep in mind, like, you going to a barber shop, you taking an infant, and then the baby squirming and all that. God forbid the razor slip. But on top of that, as a man, who's gotten my hair cut thousands of times in my lifetime, I also know you can't trust every barber and every barber's clippers. I have been the victim of going to a barbershop on multiple occasions and having them dirty ass clippers on my head and then get a breakout. You don't want that happening with your infant. I don't get it. And then you can see at the end of the video, she's a young mama. She look like she about 16 or 18. Why that baby needed a razor line? For one, don't touch his head. Get out his hair. Get that old soft baby brush and get you some, I don't even know. Do they use baby oil or whatever? You slick it down. Get your own slob. Get your slob, slick his, give him a little cowlick and brush it down. That's all you should be doing with these babies. Right, Robin L. I was flinching too. It took me a while to be able to watch the video because I'm like, what the heck is happening? Because I'm cringing, like, and you got it right on, Nicole. The baby looks around 2 to 3 months. We on the same page with that. Why? So unnecessary. Right, Power Dynamics, breakout and sometimes ringworm. Yes. Foolery in this world. Yes. The mama needs to, all this stuff, y'all. And the state board should take his life. And I think I didn't dig. I wish I was pulling stuff. This is some random I ran into, but I think this might not be in America, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I think when I saw the photos, it was like, made me think that it could be in Mexico or something like that. Right. Sabrina saying, I didn't cut either of my son's hair until after they turned 1. That was just how I grew up. You do not cut a baby's hair until he's 1. Again, it was kind of a rite of passage. I remember when haircuts became a big deal to me, going to get a haircut. Anyway, reading this, have you seen this video of the infants getting haircut size razor linings? 78% of you said no. 21% of you said yes, you had. And then, would you do this with your baby? 100%. Wow, 100% of you said no. Hell no. Hell no. No need. Lord help us. But I said in the beginning, we got this, right? I'm starting to question, do we really have this? Because it's so much happening. How we gonna handle this? Yes, it's disturbing, Valerie Christian. Dottie is saying that's crazy. Hold on. I know I'm all over the place with I'm reading live comments and I got my eyes are just darting back and forth. That's crazy. Babies should not be subjected to this. Yeah, what is the point? Oh God, yeah. I shouldn't have ended on this one because now I'm all flustered and frustrated. When I see people doing stuff to the babies, it gets to me in a different kind of way. These are the kind of people who end up like that. Let's pray that mama, this little obviously teenage girl with this baby, don't end up like raising her child like this. They focus on the wrong stuff. How that baby doing tummy time? Put him on his stomach and let him do tummy time so he can start to learn, get his motor skills together, and give him some stimulation, some social emotional care, things like that. Get him to interact him. That's what's important. Not no damn lining with a razor on no straight razor on no baby's head. Right. Key got jokes. I'm with you, friend. I know I was just trying to be optimistic in the beginning of this because I knew where we were going. I knew how this show was. I knew the direction it was going in. And I was like, let me just tell them we got this. I'm hoping that if enough of us say it in the comments, it'll just feel better. But do we really though? Do we really though? With that, y'all know I hate to end the shows on low notes, but thank y'all for joining me this evening. Thank you for coming back. I know I've been missing for a little while. I'm probably going to be doing every other. I'm trying to figure it out because I can't do the 5 days a week anymore. I already fell off of that. As y'all can see, it's too much. I can't get everything done. I got my social media slacking, and I can't research and hop into a live. Research, hop into a live because it's all these other things that don't get done. So we definitely are having our Friday live stream. God, say a prayer for me. God, if God says so, we definitely having our Friday. Tomorrow, probably going to do just a highlight video, and I'm going to we'll do a live premiere. So if y'all want to just be in the chat and talking live or whatever, we'll do that. And I'll probably do 2 of them tomorrow because I need to get more videos out. But with that, thank you to my moderators on the back end. We had Alice was on the front end. Alice, Blessed Child of God, on the front end. Marianne and Precious G on the back end. My background sang us for today. And I know I saw Trikeisha earlier, but she said she was packing. I did notice that comment. We got Rachel. And anyone else I'm missing. If it's too far in the beginning, I may miss you. But thank you to all my moderators. Oh, not Precious. Power Dynamics for Life. Thank you so much as well, friend. And to everyone who gave in the Cash Apps and Zelles and all those good stuff. So with that, until next time, make sure that you connect with me using the link that is pinned to the top of the chat. Also, it will be the first comment below, pinned in the first comment below, and also in the description below. And with that, until next time, believe in yourself, show up for your life's purpose, and watch God show out in your life in spite of all this chaos that we're trying to live through. He'll still protect us. All right, y'all. Till next time, I will holler at y'all later. No commercial tonight. Just good night.